We're live. We're live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Lidat podcast. The podcast is, we're known for consistently uploading all the time and never missing any days or months or weeks or damn near a year. I think the last time we uploaded was talking about the same subject we were talking about today. Uh, Kendrick Lamar and Drake. But before we get to that, Jose, how you been doing, man?
Been great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've been
Been
going through a
like
lot of changes. You gotta get a brand new haircut.
yeah.
This
I'm going with
must,
the hair down now. Fuck that
yeah,
noise. It's just easy to maintain. But I don't know.
mm-hmm.
When was the last time we freaking uploaded? Back in like last
Like
Christmas.
I was looking. I think it was like 162 days ago.
It was like half a
162
year
days
ago.
ago.
Well, it
Yeah.
was like the summer. But I don't
It
know.
was July. I think it was around July. That's when the beef. I think it's like June 12th or July 12th, somewhere around there.
Okay, so we did talk about the Kendrick. Oh, we did talk about the Kendrick beef, and
Yeah, we did.
when it first started.
Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
did talk about it.
Oh, I just remember I was looking through some of the videos, and I'm like, oh
Mm-hmm.
shit, we have a new supporter.
Recently I was going through our Spotify actually. Ironically enough,
Uh-huh.
you guys didn't know we used to upload a lot of our old podcasts onto Spotify as well. And I was listening to it and I was thinking to myself, holy, we did get a lot better compared to when we first started. I didn't even realize how much better we got at speaking to each other. Because I was listening to some of our old podcasts and we sound terrible.
From like the audio quality sense.
Audio quality sense, I guess just the seamlessness of the conversation as well just didn't seem as good at all.
I mean, it's crazy because I still have a video on my phone from my first, like maybe not the first, but probably like the second or third podcast that we ever did
Oh
back in
yeah.
my mom's house. It's like
Oh, Star Wars? We're talking about Star Wars?
I need to see what the fuck we were talking about, but I know I have it. I think I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Ask, ask,
I know I
ask.
have it somewhere. I seen it. I saw it the other day, literally, and I was like, oh shit.
Well, before we get straight into the podcast, let's get some like updates on what's going on over here, like what we've been up to. I'll let you start it off. What's been going on with you, man? I know you've been going through a couple life changes.
Do you think so?
I'm not
Shit.
I'm not sure how much of that we want to discuss on the internet, but I know you've been going through
Shit.
a couple of changes.
I think. I mean, I don't know. A lot of changes, like friends wise, yeah, a lot of changes. A lot of change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, friends wise, definitely a lot of changes. I'm back at the gym. I went from hanging out with Tortas to picking them up. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's a that's a good change.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more guy time, a lot more delinquency and degeneracy going on in my life right now.
I mean, you've been on some demon time right now. You're going through your demon time phase. Let me just say that. What I'll give you, I don't know who's listening. I don't know who's listening.
Oh, trust me,
Uh,
someone is listening.
yeah,
Fuck.
yeah. So I don't want to. I don't give up too much sauce, but
I don't
it's
know.
it's saucy in these streets.
It's crazy because I think that I have some moments where I'm like, I do some shit where I'm like, you know what's crazy? Like, you could really do damage, Jose. Like, sometimes you be slacking. What's wrong with you? Like, you're an asshole.
I've been telling you, bro. I've been
I'm
telling
like,
you. It's taking you a long time to realize what's going on there. But so what's been going on with you?
I'm back at the gym, which honestly, that's the
Mm-hmm.
only thing that I really care about. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I've been off from the gym for, I don't know, probably over like a year. Um, probably, yeah, 6 months, 8 months, and stuff like that. I just stopped because I was bodybuilding for a while, and the thing with bodybuilding is honestly it was just the food. I just hated eating, bro. That's something
Mm-hmm.
like me and Ian Valier have in common. Like he talks about, like, bro, I freaking hate eating. Like, he hated eating,
Yeah.
and I get it. Like I just don't like majority of your day when it comes to bodybuilding is bodybuilding. Your whole day is bodybuilding. It's a lifestyle change completely. Because
Yeah.
whatever off day you have, whatever off time you have, you're spending it cooking. If not, you're eating. If not, you're training. Like you really have a lot of chance to do anything else.
Yeah.
And I think about a year ago, probably about a year ago, I finally got a chance to just actually go out and start experiencing things and going to bars and
Start living, start hanging out with
start
some
living a
dudes,
little.
bro. I'm not gonna say that some advice
Mhm.
helped or whatever, but well, okay, that's interesting. That's what you've had going on. I've been hitting the gym a little bit too. I've lost a significant amount of weight from the last The last time we recorded, yeah, I'll say I lost a decent amount of weight from the last time we recorded, probably like 20, 30 pounds down from where I was. Excuse the beard, is we literally get off of No Shape November. So I let my whole beard grow out a little bit. My girl's kind of into it. She's kind of into the Mufasa.
I
Um,
move faster.
uh, Other than that, good health changes. I'm getting back into reading as much as I used to before. I had a little bit I had like a little stint where I didn't really want to touch politics as much because I kind of knew where things were going. I'm not sure if I said this on camera or off camera. I think I told you exactly how the election was going to go too, with just the numbers that I was seeing, and everyone talking about these Iowa polls. Oh, look at the Iowa polls. The polls suggested this was going to happen. I'm like, brother, trust me. And I called the sweep across the board, but no one believed me, and now I look like a genius. So I like that a lot. We brought up Ian Villar. Actually, we'll talk about that in the back half. Let's talk about Kendrick and Drake, right? How are people in New York looking at this? New York, because Texas is not really a hip hop crazy place as much as New York is, like the barbershops and just anywhere you are, you can just talk about hip hop. How's New York taking it? Like, based on the people you've spoken to, who's the victor? Who do you think how people feel about it over there in New York?
I mean, the victor is obviously Kendrick. I don't think I have never heard anyone say that it's not Kendrick. Like I keep seeing like videos of clubs playing Drake's song, and they as soon as the beat drops, they play Kendrick's. So it's like they're trolling, Drake at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. So it's basically Kendrick. I mean, in online, it has to be Kendrick. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah, I see that decent amount, but you're
I mean, I don't know
I'm a native, but I live somewhere else now, so I'm kind of curious on
like I don't
how
know
it's going in the
if
city.
Kendrick is aware of like meme culture and how much that impacts the way.
I feel like he's a lot more tapped in than people thought he
The
was.
only reason I say that is because the whole mustard thing to me is just kind of like because it can sound for something else too. It sounds like something else, and some people like take it and they run with it and they make fun of it, which is fucking hilarious. So I don't know if he's aware of like meme culture. Maybe he's just like he dropped that beat like, oh, this probably rock on TikTok or something like that. I don't know, but pretty much Kendrick is winning. I'm
You
not really
know,
that crazy when it comes to like beefs and stuff
you
like that.
know, my boy Alex, who you're gonna meet when you come down here. We were talking about it. He was asking me whose music do you think is better. I'm like, it's kind of like a weird thing to ask because their music isn't the same type of music. He was like, well, what do you mean? I thought, I thought this is a good example to say. I'm like, Family Guy is great.
Okay.
The Office is great. They're great shows that people can watch whenever they want to watch it and enjoy it whenever they want to enjoy it. Rewatch an episode they thought was funny while they're eating and whatnot. I'm like, and that's Drake's music. Fantastic, great. You're gonna find a lot of great gems in there. Sometimes you might find something a little bit on the artsy side. Like Kendrick is like watching the season of The Penguin, or watching Game of Thrones, or watching um uh Breaking Bad, or there's a ride that goes with it. You know what I mean? That's like a ride that you can go through with it, and while you're watching the whole show, series, movie, like the Batman, but you can't watch it all the time.
Okay.
When you finish it, when you finish it, you're not just rewatching it again.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's not like a daily digestible kind of thing. It's an experience that you'll definitely experience again, just like any great show. People have been watching Game of Thrones. I don't know how many times. Breaking Bad, Sopranos, all these shows. These shows have been rewatched, but ain't no one just scrolling through and just trying to pick one specific episode to watch while eating. That's not what's happening with those kind of shows. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was really, for me anyway, it was really interesting to see that Kendrick had the ability to make Family Guy-esque music with art inside of it enough for his core fan base. If they want to pick up on nuggets, they can. But if you just want to rock out, you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what you mean.
Yeah, bro. And then, it was so. It was. I don't know. I've never. I think this is the first time in hip hop history, the first time ever in hip hop history where it's definitive that there is one top guy. This has never been like this, ever.
Yeah.
You essentially had the number one and number two go against each other, and number two beat number one, and now he's done the new number one, and that's it. Like he's like everyone knows I'm a big Eminem fan, huge Eminem fan. But the arguments that I use for M is the same arguments I see people using for Drake now, where it's like he has the numbers, he has this, he has that, he has this, he has that. But M never lost. So that's the difference. M never lost. Kendrick was all about it. Drake claimed to be all about it, and then drop. Stop. I'm calling the cops. I've never seen something about this bad in history. This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
The whole cop thing is a little bit like, I didn't know you could. Because what is he doing? Is it like I don't know the details. I think it's in a defamation.
So he's suing. No, it's not defamation. It's so weird. He's suing. No, it's not weird. But I think this is the hill he's trying to die on. So okay, let me explain it first. Let me explain what he's doing. Let me explain where I think he's trying to put himself on the cross for, and then let me explain what I think is actually going to happen. He's suing UMG. Now, I'm not going to pull up the paperwork because I'm not, first podcast back, I'm not trying to read all that stuff while recording. But essentially, the reason that he's suing, the first lawsuit against UMG is essentially stating that UMG and Spotify had conspired with each other to boost the popularity of Not Like Us. That suggested that Drake had some pedophilia PDF file kind of thing going on with him, right?
Yeah.
Now, I believe Drake is alleging that UMG cut back on the licensing fees on Spotify, so that Spotify can then promote the song more, because that song they would have to pay less for, but they can still charge. I imagine they can still charge advertising dollars at the same 100% rate.
Okay.
Right, because there's certain rates to whatever songs when they get sent to Spotify. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that being said, if you have a discounted song that you could sell at 100% to all advertisers, that's the avenue you're going to do. You're going to go to just bring more money into you. You're essentially making an extra 20%, 30% or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's Drake's argument. I'm pretty sure the second lawsuit. Man, I'm forgetting what the second lawsuit is about, but the first one is definitely something along those lines. That he's trying to put them both in this joint little thing. Now, this is the cross I think he's gonna die on. I think what he hopes is gonna happen is that UMG is gonna settle.
Okay.
Right. I think he hopes that the UMG is gonna settle, and in so settling, he will make an absorbent amount of money that he can stop music. He don't have to do music no more. He's good to go.
Okay.
And I do think that's the likeliest outcome of this whole thing. If this actually does go to court, is that more than likely UMG is going to settle. But I don't think UMG is going to settle because of Kendrick or the situation that Drake's alleging towards Kendrick. I believe that UMG is going to settle because then if they start going over UMG's books or how they make their money or how everything is going to go on, payola, which is paying people to pay for play, essentially, like radio stations on iHeartRadio and all this other stuff. If it's illegal for you to do that, it's illegal for you to pay someone to broadcast a specific thing. Essentially, like this, very specific federal laws against that. So, but the issue is this: if I'm UMG, what do I want to do? Do I just want to say fuck it and let me just burn this guy down with me?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that he benefited from this.
Right.
You 1,000% know he benefited from this. Back when Apple Music like first launched, when he dropped, I think it was Scorpion. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was Scorpion. He was the face of every playlist they have on Apple Music. Of every fucking playlist. That just can't be coincident. Oh, chill out music, moody music, super turned metal. Like, dude, what's going on? Like, how can this one man be the face of every fucking playlist that exists there?
Okay.
And playlists are a good way to boost sales of your record because people go to I'm at the gym, just listen to some gym music, car ride music. This guy's
Right.
a gym artist, and now he's also a car ride artist. So I think he's gonna end up lumping his face at the same time.
For with Drake,
Yes, if UMG had balls.
because I heard that it's, they boost different albums as well. It's not just a Drake thing. It's not
Yeah,
specifically just a Kendrick thing.
yeah, they boost. I mean, their job essentially is to their job essentially. I'm not sure if you're still here, and your camera kind of went black.
Yeah.
Their job essentially is to make their artists as popular as possible, so they can get the largest return on their money as possible. That's their job. It's the same thing like with the music industry, the movie industry. The marketing dollars, the trailer, everything the movie industry is supposed to do is the exact same thing that the music industry is supposed to do. I mean, you can look at Robert Downey Jr.'s next outing for a movie where he did the Doolittle after doing the Avengers stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That movie did terrible. They made no money on that movie. No wonder he was going back to the MCU. But that's the thing. The movie industry is supposed to make you think that Robert Downey Jr. is a lot bigger of an actor than he actually is.
Yeah.
Right? That's their job. So they can get the biggest return on investment off the movie.
Right.
Robert Downey Jr., the face of Marvel, returns. Doomsday, that shit's gonna do amazing.
Right.
Right? But he's gonna do something else, and it's not gonna do as great as that.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah, but you're supposed to do that for your artists. You're supposed to find, let's say, you don't want to break the law, but
Mm-hmm.
you want to maximize the chances that you have for your artists to bring back the most investment as possible back to you. So you can then use that money to do it to another artist, and you have a plethora of artists that you can do that to, and they can just keep feeding you money, keep feeding you money, keep feeding you money. Also, the person that owns UMG is a Russian guy.
That's what he has to know.
He's a billionaire. UMG is run by his son.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just Drake complaining because that I think. Wait, am I frozen in your screen?
No, you're good.
No, because in my screen I'm frozen. But whatever. Fuck it. I forgot what I was gonna say. I think I was gonna say something on the lines of like, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know. I keep focusing on the stupid ass screen because it's frozen.
Let's see. I don't know, man. Again, this is the craziest thing, man. I've never seen this so definitive with a rapper. Like people have made arguments. You know, Jay-Z was the biggest rapper at one time, but you can't point to something and go, that's what made that guy number one. You know, and people would just say Jay just had a culture, right? That's just a lot of New York people that would say something like that, right?
Uh-huh.
People would say Kendrick. I mean, fucking Pac at whatever given time, but Pac got bigger after his death than he was ever when he was alive. Same thing with Biggie, right? I think this is the first time in the history of rap, you can point to a reason why this person is the number one of his generation. I have him as my top three favorite rapper. I have him as a top three rapper of all time after this battle.
Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably because Drake's
And
ego
I,
is hurt
and I,
at the
and
moment.
and I have my number 2 all time.
I think Drake is just hurt right now. He's just ego hurt right now. And he hates the fact that everyone's making fun of him, or you know what I mean, like they're trolling him left and right. Because I
Yeah,
think
but
he was in
he's
one.
good.
He was on a streamer's chat. I forgot which one.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and he was trying to troll the new song, and people were just clowning on him. So you know what I mean? It's like imagine if you're trying to clown back, but it's just like even when you try to clown back, people, oh, you corny. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
probably tight right now. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. Like all he can do right now at this point in time is just keep dropping music. Just keep dropping music. Drop a good album. Drop a critically acclaimed album. I think that's really what he needs to do. If he drops like a piece of art that's just undeniable, I think that he can find his way back into the industry in some type of form or way. But I think he's gonna be fine in the same way Kanye is fine now. Kanye was one of the biggest streaming artists on Spotify. This year, I think he was fourth of the rappers or something like that, performing and streaming. So that's still pretty impressive, seeing that he's independent. So I think Drake's gonna be okay. I think Drake can drop music and he'll be okay. People are still gonna rock with Drake type shit. But I think he's making an enemy of the industry, and that's just never good.
I think he'll be okay. I don't think no one else is gonna be okay. I just think that he just doesn't like the fact that he's being trolled right now. You know?
Yeah, bro. I mean, well, you can't go drop, cops. You can't do that.
Just
You
now,
can't do that. And all everything that he's doing, it just lends credence to what
Kendrick was
Kendrick
saying.
was saying. Yeah, like, you not like us.
Yeah, so it
Ain't
is.
no one in rap history out here suing because you lost a rap battle.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I was talking about this with someone, right? And you might not know this because you was raised in DR for a little bit before you came to New York.
mhm.
But in the hood, it's very common for you to fight your neighbor.
Okay, yeah,
Sometimes your next door neighbor, sometimes just someone inside your hood. Very common. You know what's uncommon is during or after the fight or before the fight, someone calling the cops on another person. It never happens.
right,
It's like an unwritten rule.
right.
It's like the crazy thing about it is that it's not something you even notice. Like you don't even think about it in your head that that's a rule, but it's an unwritten rule that's just there. That's just not what you do.
Yeah, that's just like pushing it too far.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean?
you only ever really get and even then not really, but you only ever get cops involved when it has to do with kids,
Mhm.
when it has to do with mothers, and when it has to do with grandparents. That's the only way you get the cops involved. Someone's kid got touched, someone's mom's got touched. No one give a fuck if someone's father gets touched or
Yeah,
someone's grandparents get touched. It'd be grandpa or grandma. So like that's it. Like shit has to happen.
right.
You know what I mean? Bro, you talked about my wife, you made fun of Pac, I'm on your ass now.
Yeah, carry back, carry back. Oh, I'm sorry, but
No. I know you're tired. I'm a little tired too, man. This is the first podcast in 162 days. By the time we upload, it might be like 164, 165 days. Who knows? Who fucking knows when this is gonna go up? But let's talk about Bumstead a little bit, so we can. Yeah,
Chris Bumstead. I love that motherfucker. All right, you want to start or you want to start?
you start, bro. I did the whole hip hop section. I'll
Oh
let you do this
shit!
part.
I mean, where do you even start with his career? I don't even know. Like, I think that where you start with his career is just what has made him who he is at this point. And
Do
it's
you
that
do
he
you
had
think? Okay, go sorry.
like you gotta understand, like I started following him back in 2017. 2000 probably 17, 18.
John, okay.
This was before his first title, right?
Mhm.
And the rise with Chris is just that if you look at his very first videos, bro, like he's just bless you in case you
Yeah.
he's just us. Like he is that guy at the gym who's working out and it's just mad cool, mad chill, and it's just boom. Like he is this freaking guy now.
Yeah. Agreed.
And when you saw his journey, especially at the beginning, because he ended up having an autoimmune disease back in 2000, I believe it was 2018.
Oh, 18 or 8, some 18, 19, or sometime around there.
It was 2018 because 2018 was the last year he placed second. But he placed second his first 2 years at the Olympia.
Yeah, but
So
wait, so did he announce it in 2018 or did he announce it in 2019? I remember him announcing in 2019. I could be wrong though.
he announced it in 2018
Okay.
after the Olympia. So after the Olympia, he announced that he made a video and he was talking about what happened. He ended up coming second, but he ended up being very, very watery. Like he was in condition as shit. So he ended up announcing he had an autoimmune disease. And the thing with Chris and why he's so likable is just how vulnerable he can get. Because he's a very emotional guy. You know, like he was just crying in the video. He was just saying, like, well, this is what happened. And then the next year he ended up winning in 2019. Right? So it's like, it's just a guy who is just a regular Joe, a regular you and me, who ends up being so incredibly talented and stays true to himself and genuine to himself all the way to the top. And I think that's why even after he was winning, 4, 5, 6 titles straight, no one was ever waiting for his downfall. Because when you have a champion, everyone is just eventually everyone starts just, all right, where you gonna fall? That's what ends up happening to every single champion. And with Chris, no one was saying that. The second place guy, third place guy, fourth place guy, they all have super respect for him. Could never disrespect them. Nothing but love. Even the second place guy this year was talking about like, hey, I wasn't ready to really win. What he has accomplished is incredible with his businesses.
Well, that guy was pretty close though. He was pretty close.
Yeah, he put up a fight, but I don't think Chris was really in it anymore, man. I think like the last, I've been seeing it for a while, probably after the third year. Like with Chris wasn't really, he was tired. I don't think he was really, his mind wasn't in it. I think that Chris is one of those people that, although he loves bodybuilding, I don't know if you have ever encountered someone who's just so talented at something that he's like, all right, I guess I'll do this. But he's just so naturally good at it. I think he enjoys working out.
I know you're talking about.
I think he loves working out, but even throughout the year, like Chris took 6 months off the year usually. And then he started working out the last 6 for the year. Now, granted, he couldn't gain weight because of a weight cap. But either way, like he took a long ass, half of the year almost off, and just to get his mind back in it. So yeah, that's Chris. I don't know what else to say about that guy. Like, it's just, where do you even begin?
I feel like for one of the things I like about Chris a lot, right? And there's a saying that Patrick Bet-David uses a lot, that be aggressive. Well, damn, I'm trying to remember the exact phrasing. Damn, I don't know why it's slipping my mind, but essentially the idea is be aggressively patient. Like just be super aggressive with your patience on getting something done. Like not getting something done, but like let's say you're working hard at something, right? Like just be patient, just keep working hard at it. Like don't get frustrated with the fact that things aren't going to get done as quick as possible. And just just keep going, just keep going. And it's that quote that really made me want even consider just go back into podcasting a lot because I've been looking at people that were doing like YouTube videos a little bit longer than we have and more consistent than we have, and we outgrew them. We surpassed them long ago, and there's individuals still trying to catch up to where we were or get views like we did or whatever, right? And it's like, granted, this was kind of like a whatever thing for us. Like, we was kind of just doing it because it's something we used to do at work. We would talk at work, and people would just come. We'll talk about anything, music, podcast, comedy, or whatever. People would just surround us and just try to talk about the whole conversation. That's the reason we did the podcast in the first place. With Chris, to tie that whole thing in, is that I believe Chris was okay with not winning. And his heart of hearts, I think he was okay with. I think he wanted to win, but I think he was more obsessed, and I think just one of his biggest things is like just being obsessed with the process, being obsessed with the process, being aggressively patient to wait for the time to do his thing, to just to show up, do it, get it done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
and if you approach a lot of things in life just that way, where you kind of just know things are gonna work out. Like
Mm-hmm.
like for instance with us, right? To bring it back to us, I don't think we've ever for a full year, like beginning calendar year, January to December, recorded.
Right.
I think if you put all our videos together, we have what? I think this would be our 39th video, our 39th podcast, right? And you do the math on that off of 39 podcasts, 200 subscribers,
Mm-hmm.
right? You do that. You do two a week. You do two a week. At that math, it would end up at what? Uh,
Out of the year?
Out of the year, what is that? We do two a week. It's 50. Was it 52 weeks in a year?
So it's a week or something.
Regardless, if we did that kind of output on a regular basis with the promotions that we thought of doing and how to get it out there, would easily be at 2,000 subscribers
Right.
if we were aggressively patient.
Mm-hmm.
If we were just obsessed with the process, we would get there.
Mm-hmm.
We would get there. You're an extremely likable guy. You know, you have all the same makeup as a Chris Bumstead, except you're not good looking.
Fuck you.
But outside of that, you know, we have as a group, we have what it takes to, you know, and then with Chris, I think Chris inspires people. Like, you know, he really puts it out there on the table where it's like, dude, anyone can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I might have a little bit more genetics than some people here and there. I might be 6 feet tall or whatever. But really, the thing that separates me from everybody else is how aggressive I am with the process.
Right. I mean, I think that, but it's also, I think someone wasn't able to describe it, but there's certain people that have a je ne sais quoi to them, and it's just that missing link that most people can't understand. Because I think when it comes to bodybuilding specifically, like a lot of bodybuilders are just not. I wouldn't say relatable, but it's just there's something off about it. Like there's not a connection between the normal people and them. And same thing with athletes, if that makes any sense. Same thing with athletes. That like athletes appear like they're here all the time. Bodybuilders appear like they're here, whatever. With Chris, I just feel like that he has a certain level of he's just relatable. And that's the thing that is missing with like a lot of people, especially because I think we saw his journey from the very beginning, right? Like he was just a regular guy working out to a guy who he had a podcast called Paradise on Fire, and it was like episode 3. You can find it because they took it down. It was him, his sister, and his best friend Matt, and like he was breaking down because him and his now wife, you know, they broke up, and he was just talking about like, yo, like it's been freaking painful. Like I've been focusing on just working out. I let everything out, and he just focused on the process, and that's something that we all can relate to that. Where you have breaking up with something, and then you just focus on the gym. And I think that year, he told they were talking, and it was like, look, I just need to focus on this. I can't have you around. And we can all relate to that situation where you're just like, you know what, fuck that. I'm just gonna go to the gym, and that's it. And it's what it is. I'm in my own world. I'm just gonna dedicate 100% to this. I'm gonna be single minded, and boom. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like to be someone that is over here and man's man, right? A man with multiple businesses, I think over 3 businesses, owns co-owner of Gymshark now, part owner of Gymshark, part owner of Raw Nutrition. I believe he has his own energy drink.
And he has his own app as well. Standard.
He has his own app. And it's a complete contrast to like the Andrew Tates of the world, if that makes any sense. Like Chris is a very emotional guy. He was very likable, and he is this. Like no one can say that man is not a man's man. I don't think you can find a single.
Okay, so I would say this, right? I think with Chris, and correct me if I'm wrong, before Chris was Arnold, and don't get me wrong, there were people in between that, but
Yeah.
In terms of transcending the field, it was Arnold.
Okay.
And Arnold was nothing like Chris. Don't get me wrong. Like he was personable. People can talk to him.
Yeah.
But when people speak about Arnold or they talk about Arnold, he's the man. Like that guy, he was the man. He was cool. He was James Bond esque,
Yes, he was
right?
very in your face type of guy.
Yeah. So and I think with
Chris,
I think with Chris, I think what Chris has is that he's closer to Joe Rogan,
in what sense?
and that people don't speak to people don't listen to Joe Rogan because of his insights on things.
Mm-hmm.
They like Rogan because they feel like they're going on a journey with him.
Okay, yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like they feel like they're on the same journey with Rogan when he's speaking to these super intelligent people. Granted, if you listen to Rogan from years ago and listen to Rogan from now, you can tell how much brighter he's gotten. I imagine his IQ has shot up since he started doing podcasts and whatnot, and the wealth of knowledge he has inside of his brain has to be vast. But I imagine that's the exact same thing
Mm-hmm.
as Chris in the gym, because Chris got into even bodybuilding through his brother-in-law. No,
Yeah.
yeah, and then with Chris being around that individual made Chris the better version of himself. But Chris is always the regular guy in the same way Joe Rogan was always the
Yeah.
regular guy. And then Joe Rogan is surrounded by extraordinary people,
Right.
right? And in the same way with Chris's entourage around him with uh his brother-in-law, or just with him in sports, or just that field in general, right? It's surrounded by a lot of fucking individuals that are amazing. And it's not that Chris isn't amazing. It's that Chris was a normal guy before he became amazing. Him becoming amazing just never changed him.
Yeah, exactly.
And I imagine in the same way as Joe Rogan, where Arnold Arnold was the man Aaron wants to be.
Yeah.
He
I
was
don't
the
think
man Aaron. Yeah.
because I don't think I mean I wasn't even born for Arnold time, was I? But like I no, I definitely wasn't. But I don't think
Yeah.
we saw his journey. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what I mean with Chris. Is like I think that why part of the reason why he's so relatable is that we saw his ups and downs. Like
Mm-hmm.
we have seen him breaking down and we have seen him triumph, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like this is why every single time that he just gets a W, we just love him for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen this man at his lowest, and especially when I met him, like he's not. He's just you and me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is when I met him, he was just.
He's just a dude. He's just a guy.
It's just a fucking dude. Like that guy, like he was just. He had his sweater on, and he was just saying hi to people and just talking to them and having a good conversation and very nice and very kind. Like if Chris was at a supermarket, you wouldn't notice him. Like
Oh, you know who he is, dude? He's the Keanu Reeves of bodybuilding.
oh yeah, because Keanu Reeves sometimes is in fucking like subways and no
Yeah,
one knows who
bro.
he is.
He's the Keanu Reeves of fucking bodybuilding. That's who he is. That's who Chris Bumps that we put it together, bro.
Yeah, he's
Keanu
the Chris
Reeves.
Bumps it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you saw Chris Bumps that he was making memes. He was making chill guy memes.
No, I didn't see that. Wait, what was he posting?
If you go to his IG, I don't know if you probably can show it, but if you go to his IG, he has like chill guy memes. And in his comment section, all his businesses were like, you have people for this, right? Like he was like, I got time for that. I got time for that. I'm a chill guy. I'm a chill dad. Like, I mean,
Yeah, there. Yeah.
chill dad. Like,
He's
oh
cool,
man.
man. Man, God bless him. God bless his family. He had an amazing career. I'm really curious what he does next, because there's like a lot of different things he can do. He can potentially even train the next guy, right? He can
Uh-huh.
train the next guy. Obviously, he's gonna super lock in on becoming, or he's already a father, but becoming the best father he could be.
Hmm.
Um, it's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be really interesting. Because outside of business, I imagine he wants to get connected in some way uh to the people. Because what do you imagine just keep doing his businesses and just keep running his YouTube the same way he's been running it forever?
I don't know. I mean, I think that he might do a lot more with clothing because I know that's something that he wanted to start up. I like doing his own little brand of clothing because sometimes he puts on shirts and stuff like that. Every
Does he have his own podcast?
he doesn't have his own podcast. He used to. The podcast was called Paradise on Fire, but sometimes he's in the Raw Nutrition podcast here and there. But like I think right now,
Do
I was
you,
looking at
do
his.
you think he should start a podcast?
I just don't know if he has the time for it because I'm looking at his IG and I forgot he has one, two, three, four. He has like 4 businesses. And it's not small businesses either. Plus
Yeah,
an
yeah,
app.
but a lot of the okay. I don't know how his business is run. Okay, but let's use someone you can say has about the same amount of businesses or something. Okay, like Logan Paul, which is not an apt analogy, but Logan with WWE, his clothing brand with like
Right.
Maverick Prime and all that stuff, and he stayed with a good podcast, right? I can see him going into the podcast field, interviewing a lot of the biggest bodybuilders in the world and their secrets and their
Uh
tips,
huh.
and them talking about what they thought the other person's strength was over this person.
Mm-hmm.
Him doing a podcast with Arnold would bang. Him doing a podcast with there's some of the old legends, dude. That would bang. I think also him just talking to other business owners or him talking to uh, martial artists or MMA guys or boxing guys and just seeing just him diving into I think him diving into what makes discipline a thing
Mm-hmm.
is the best thing that he can do. I think the more versions of him, Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, Patrick McDavid we get into the world,
Mm-hmm.
the better people can start canceling out the dumb shit from Andrew Tate.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like we need more of that, and we definitely need less of the other shit. The other shit is funny. I'll jump in for some comedy,
Uh-huh.
but the thing is, the real problem is it is influencing people. I always forget that sometimes when I'm personally making jokes or whatnot, and people know
Mm-hmm.
I can get super unhinged, and I look at that kind of stuff, and I'm realizing that's having influences on younger kids that might not have a father, and I would much rather Chris be that influence or Jordan Peterson be that influence. Ultimately, Jesus Christ, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just any access you can to have that kind of figure in your life is what I think would be the best.
Depends. I don't think he's really that into being on a podcast weekly because I know he could be in the Raw Nutrition podcast, and I know he had his own podcast with his best friend and his sister, and he kind of stopped that. I know he's gonna. I know he mentioned he wants to be more into bodybuilding. He's gonna promote classic physique a lot more. I think he has taken bodybuilding to another level.
Yeah, but
I,
what better way to promote it than to
to the
do
podcast,
a podcast with people?
I just don't think it's his thing. Especially when I see his
Yeah,
podcast,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't really think it's his thing. I feel like
He,
Chris, he likes
he,
doing whatever
he's
he wants to
also
do.
he's also not a speaker. He's not a well spoken individual.
He's a chill guy.
I
Like
mean,
he's just
it's just a chill guy.
he's just a chill guy. He's just like chilling. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
think podcasts are his thing. I think he's more behind the scenes type of guy. And it's crazy because he has a crazy reach.
Yeah.
He has a crazy reach. I don't think that any I don't know whoever wins the classic physique thing next year, like it's not gonna.
It's not gonna bang. Like Chris has to show up for it to bang a little bit, but the numbers just with Chris not competing, it's not gonna be the same.
No, like I don't think there's not a single bodybuilder that can fill his shoes. Uh, yeah, so they're gonna need him to like really promote it and take it to the next level.
Well, Classic was never. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong about this, but Classic was never like the biggest thing before Chris, correct?
No, but classic was also very new. Like when Chris won, it was the third year in classic, fourth
So
year.
he essentially made Classic.
I mean, yeah, it was basically it was he was there at the very beginning, right? Like he
Yeah.
won the fourth year classic was the thing. He was there in the second classic, Mr. Olympia. I think classic started. If he won 2019, classic started
No,
what 2015.
I can see Dino. I can see Dino taking over from him.
He could take over, but the problem with Dino is that he's going to be a bigger deal in Brazil than he's in the U.S. because Dino doesn't speak. I mean, he speaks a little bit of English now, but he doesn't have that U.S. reach.
Yes, he doesn't have the U.S. reach, but I think international fans, for some reason, are always better than American fans. I think American fans are fickle for the most part. I think whenever you have an international reach or you have like a country behind you, because that's the thing with Americans is that we have so many stars that America doesn't unite behind one person for the
Yeah,
most part.
Brazilians are crazy. I don't know if you ever heard, but like they attacked Ian one year like bad,
Wait,
like bad.
why?
Big, I forgot what was the reason. I think Ian said that Dino was not gonna win, and bruh, like it was a war against Brazil. Like all the bro, like it was bad.
Did he go
Like
over like that happened over there
no,
or?
no, he didn't go over there, but he was just talking about how like he was just breaking down Dino. He was just breaking him
Mhm.
down. And the thing with Ian is a very matter of fact type of person. He doesn't have
Mhm.
any It's not. It's not personal. It's just he's breaking
Yeah,
shit down.
he's just talking. Yeah.
He's just talking. And bro, oh my god, bro, I was even in the comment section talking shit to Brazilians. Like, I
That's
was like,
crazy.
nah, fuck you, Brazilians. It was Canadians in the U.S. versus Brazil in the comment section. It was bad,
Yeah.
but yeah, good time.
That, I mean, that's just what I'm saying, bro. Like, I think Dino, if anyone's gonna take that spot, it's gonna be him because he has a country behind him.
Maybe,
He has a country behind him, and if he were to learn, he speaks Portuguese, correct?
yeah.
Does he speak Spanish at all or no?
No, no Spanish, Portuguese.
Well, if he gets any better at like he like super logs on his English, that's it. He's out of here.
That or I forgot this guy who's very likable. Urs is likable.
Urs,
Urs or the other,
I don't think Urs is gonna become the guy.
the new guy, the guy that came second. He might win it, but I don't think he has the personality to really
Yeah,
do anything.
that's not, I'm if if I'm the classic if I'm the classic physique people whatever, I'm pushing for Dino.
Dino or Urs, because now that I'm thinking about it, the thing with Classic is Dino has a very playful personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically they're big ass kids. They like big brother kids. That's where like
Yeah.
classic physique guys. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
ever saw this video, but Dino posted it. It was his nanny cam where his wife is just laying down and he gets on top of her and he start grinding on her. He posts her. It's just it's like kid shit, like dumb shit. 'Cause at the end of the day, I think that's what people like. People like seeing those big stars just being just
Human.
human. That's what it
Yeah,
is. It's just
just being
human.
human. That is really what it is, man. I mean, that's what I'm saying, bro. I think Dino needs to win first. I think he needs to catch up to Urs, and then if he wins, then off the races there. But if you guys have made it this far into the podcast, please like, subscribe, share. We will try to record throughout the weekend so we can have videos ready for you guys throughout the week. We'll see where we can do it. I'm gonna try to get back on schedule. I do want to see if we don't make it for a year, another 6 months of trying, see what happens.
Shit.
Yeah, man. And then, you have any closing statements before we get out of here, Jose?
Oh, I love that my tattoo. I can't see because my freaking screen is frozen. I don't know if I'm on like this.
Yeah. We can see it. We can
Yeah,
see it.
but
It's cool.
eh,
You got a tiger.
yeah, the freaking last minute thing too, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if that was it was not an impulse thing, but it's just I found the right price. I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure if anyone caught it with my bars earlier with the beard and Mufasa thing, but he had he had his arm like right like this when I was doing it. So he had a tiger there, so I was kind of double entendre shit. Went over your heads, went over you guys' heads. I get it. It's cool. It's cool.
You're going to hell.
All right, Kendrick Lamar ×2. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
guys. Peace out. Have a good night.